feeling like I'm Akademiks.
Towards that, the next thing that ends up happening is that Diddy is now filing a lawsuit. Okay? Did I hear Pluto out there? Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Yeah, so all right. What I've realized what's going on with Diddy now is that Diddy's trying to punch back. And you got to respect it, right? You got to respect it. Now, whether you think that Diddy's completely guilty or not, I think what Diddy did wrong is, hold on, I got to close this door. These niggas is tweaking. When one starts, the other three just start. I don't know if it's they're like wolves. They're like communicating or something. Fuck. Actually, I'm finna go get my Don Julio right now, too. So, give me 1 second. I'm gonna break this shit down, though. Give me 1 second.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul.
Look, the rise and fall of Diddy. Jesus Christ, they never fucking stop. All right, where is it? Okay. I'm going to play this real quick.
Details revealed about Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura's freak-offs. Combs sued again, and a lawyer sues Jay-Z and his lawyers, making bold claims. I go through 7 major developments in Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z's ongoing legal sagas. This is a law and crime legal alert. Did you know that children are being diagnosed with serious conditions like type 2 diabetes and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease? And research is potentially linking ultra-processed foods to these outcomes. Morgan & Morgan is stepping in to fight to hold food companies accountable. With decades of experience fighting large corporations, they are ready to stand up for families who deserve justice. If your child under 21 has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or fatty liver disease, visit www.forthepeople.com/food to learn more. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Sean Combs and Jay-Z have been in the headlines a lot over the last couple of months, and it's really not the kind of attention either one of them wants. The two rap moguls have known one another for years and years. They've supported one another in business, and now they're named as defendants together in a civil lawsuit filed by a woman who claims both men raped her when she was 13 in the year 2000. I'll get to the latest on that case in a bit. But first, I want to get to the most recent developments in Sean Combs' federal criminal case. It involves his lawyers and the freak-offs that he engaged in with his ex, Cassie Ventura. Combs, as I've told you many times, faces very serious federal charges of racketeering, sex trafficking by coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has, of course, pleaded not guilty to those charges and has insisted he is innocent. Now, one of the major pieces of evidence in this case, as far as the sex trafficking charge is concerned, are videos of Cassie Ventura having sex with male sex workers as Combs watched. They're called freak-offs, and Combs' attorneys say they've now watched the tapes, and they say they prove he is innocent. Combs' lawyers wrote in a letter to the court, the 9 videos at issue are the so-called freak-off tapes with victim 1, that the government has repeatedly referenced, causing wild speculation in the media. Contrary to what the government has led this court and the public to believe, the so-called freak-offs were private sexual activity between fully consenting adults in a long-term relationship.
All right.
Like many Americans.
We're going to get to that part, too. I'm actually taking shots today. We're going to get to that point, too. So Diddy's lawyers... Yeah, so Diddy's lawyers, this is some freaky ass shit. So Diddy's lawyers, number one, they have requested that hold on.
One large corp called guilty to those charges.
Okay. So Diddy's lawyers has requested that, number one, because there's a protective order in the case, right? And the protective order is because part of the discovery, a lot of the discovery is really sensitive. A lot of it is videos, is sexual videos. They put these protective orders in place because, number one, if someone's a victim, you don't want, you know how they said in Tory Lanez case, like the discovery leaked. If the freak off video leaked, like, you're doing way more harm to Cassie than you would ever than any justice you probably were seeking to get for her could probably do for her. You get what I'm saying? So they have these protective orders in place to say, yo, this part of the discovery has to be treated a certain way. Why? It has to be treated a certain way that, number one, it doesn't leak, that you don't put out certain type of information that could embarrass or kind of taint the case or whatever the case, right? So Diddy's lawyers said, yo, check this out, Playboy. We want to be able to inspect the video. So as part of the protective order, Diddy can't have copies. And discovery you give to the defense, you're supposed to send to the defense. Apparently, they could only inspect the videos at a particular place and time, but it is barred that Diddy, specifically Diddy, could have these freak off videos. I mean, imagine Diddy with Cassie freak off videos. I know that's like the evidence they got against him, but if he in his cell, he probably whacking off to him like, oh damn, this shit was like 2008. Like, hold up. Anyway. So they asked the judge, yo, could we get the videos, right? Because we need to prepare, and this whole we could inspect it, blah, 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 blah. Like, nah, come on, right? Now, I don't think that's been fully ruled on yet, but subsequently, they have said that through their review of these freak-off videos, and apparently there's several of them, but 9 in particular, they're saying that Cassie look like she's having the most fun. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. This is tweaked out shit. Which, by the way, look. Cassie Diddy enjoying. Here we go. Okay. Okay. So the new legal documents, right? And by the way, this is almost, by the way, there's a gag order. So they can't say nothing to the public, so everyone's just reading court documents at this point and then regurgitating that. But Diddy's lawyers kind of talked to the judge just like how they talk to the media. They said, yo, the freak-off videos, it says there are private sexual activity between two fully consenting adults in a long-term relationship, and they're saying that his ex-girlfriend Cassie not only consented but thoroughly enjoyed herself. And they said, is evidently happy, dominant, and completely in control. Now, this is like really interesting here because it's kind of like showcasing probably what their strategy is going to be and probably also what I believe the prosecutor knew was going to happen. So that's why they leaked the video of Diddy beating her ass in that hotel. Because again, I'm creating a fictional or make-believe, I think, scenario. If Diddy is a guy who's in the corner jacking off with baby oil, maybe filming, right? And Cassie is the one, like, I don't know, sucking off 2 niggas, getting piped out by, whatever it is. But she's kind of also controlling the show, and she seems like she's making decisions, this and third. Now, we get it. You could still do that. You could be coerced to do it, or you could be under duress. We get it. But those things could be seen a different type of way, right? It could be interpreted that maybe she was more of a co-conspirator than a victim. And keep in mind, this entire case thus far, she's the only victim, right? So we're getting to realize that Diddy's team is really attacking that, and they're saying, yo, in the videos, she's thoroughly enjoying herself, and she's evidently happy, dominant, and completely controlled. Now, one thing they don't say, which is going to become a huge point of contention, is she sober, right? Because I would imagine the prosecutor is going to say that, well, yeah, she might have looked like she was enjoying this and third, but that's because she was drugged up every time, right? Now, it said prosecutors had described the videos as elaborate and produced sex performances in the indictment against Diddy, but his lawyers say that the footage does not depict sex parties, but rather adults having consensual sex plain and simple, okay? The attorneys say that the tapes were not secretly recorded, and they push back on some of the conspiracy theories surrounding the case, claiming there are no secret cameras, no orgies, no other celebrities involved, no underground tunnels, no minors, and not so much of a hint of coercion or violence, okay? And get this, Diddy claims Cassie kept the recordings on her devices for years and turned them over to the government herself. Now, this kind of plays into, this is a counterpunching method by Diddy's attorneys, right? You remember in Cassie's lawsuit, Cassie actually made the claim that Diddy would send her the videos and force her to watch it. Which, if now we think about it, what Diddy's saying, yo, she was lying back then, trying to explain why she still had the videos, right? Remember, she said these were horrifying videos that she didn't want to see, but she did have them in her possession. She said Diddy would send it to her against her wishes. She was horrified. She couldn't believe she was taped. And also, they're getting at this angle because you know what Cassie said in the lawsuit too? Cassie said that, you know, she was horrified that some of these sexual, situations were taped, as if she didn't know they were being taped. Now Diddy's saying, well, number one, she's having fun in all of them. She's dominant. She's doing all the shit. And she clearly knew we were being taped. And also, if she was that horrified by all these goddamn videos, she kept them for years. You get what I'm saying? All right. So it says, Diddy attorney says his tapes do not show any evidence of violence, coercion, threats, manipulation, drug use. Now, this is going to be also interesting, right? If the videos don't show drug use, does it show drug paraphernalia around? Does it show drugs around? Is there white lines on the counter? Is there fucking, I don't know. They keep showing that little, is it a syringe that they supposedly put the GHB? I don't know. Does it show, it says no excessive alcohol consumption. That's going to be hard to prove, I believe, because, again, unless you test her blood alcohol level, how do you know? Obviously, I would imagine if this is a freak off, people aren't, this isn't about consuming alcohol. This is about fucking, right? They're saying that it's certainly no evidence of sex trafficking. And Diddy's saying all along he's innocent, and his legal team says the proof is on the tapes. Interesting. I'll take a shot for that one. All right, yeah, Diddy's trying to fight back here, people. And we're going to see how this turns out. Now, here's the important part about him fighting back. Now, I'll also give you a little bit of insight. And I've spoken, I guess, at this point a few times about the me speaking to Diddy when Diddy's locked up. So when I spoke to 6ix9ine, 6ix9ine said, hey, listen, when he first went into jail, Diddy was like sleeping all day. And I'm not saying that he was depressed or anything, but it kind of felt like it's the first time Diddy's had to sit his ass down, right? Like he's probably not happy, can't do anything, this and third. So he's just trying to use everybody's jail calls to try to talk to people, blah, 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 right? Now, I remember 6ix9ine said, he told him, it's like, yo, listen, right now, you're getting your ass whipped in the media, right? There's 5 accusations every day. Everybody is acting like they barely know you. They have memes, baby oil, this and third. You have to start at least controlling the atmosphere, or the forest fire, no pun intended, will run wild. And again, it's about controlling the atmosphere because you're eventually going to see a jury. And at this point, I would say, you guys watch me. So if you watch me and we go through court documents, we all know that in the current indictment, right? And I do think there's going to be a superseding indictment. There's one victim. There's been 100 people supposedly claiming something, and the feds only have used one. So you guys would probably know that because we'd be going through court documents. But for the random person who, I think everybody knows about this Diddy thing now, I think they probably think that there's 40 victims, right? In the criminal sense. In the criminal sense, there's only one. So I think what Diddy's doing now is saying, okay, if I'm going to potentially go to trial this year, and by the way, his trial is scheduled for this year, probably will get pushed back, I have to start doing some attacking myself. I took the punches while I was going through this whole thing with, being investigated, the raids. I clearly, was trying to get out of jail. But now as I prepare for trial, I need to start punching back to let people know, hey, there's a lot of cap out here, right? So Diddy's now suing a witness and a lawyer for defamation, okay? Now, let's read into this. Diddy's going after a grand jury witness and a lawyer he claimed to have been spreading lies about him, accusing them of fabricating stories for media attention. The disgraced mogul is suing Curtis Burgess, a man who appeared as a witness for the grand jury, which, by the way, he had spoke about, we're going to play this video, because he was claiming that he was in the grand jury proceeding and he was given some information that if you heard that information, you're like, Diddy's cooked, right? Also, Ariel Mitchell, she's been on Piers Morgan a few times speaking about Diddy. You get what I'm saying? And again, this was her. Hold on, sorry. All right.
Regarding the victims, there are victims coming out every day, even someone who contacted me last night. So
now also she has an interesting story because she was representing a potential victim, and that victim either fired her or wanted her fired, and the victim called her lawyer a clout chaser. Now she said that her client was all over the place and wouldn't listen to her, but you also see this is a lot of shit going on. That you kind of start realizing the Cassie shit's serious, everything else circus. But then she also represents, so she dropped that one client that was accusing Diddy, and then she allegedly was representing or in talks to represent another client that was accusing Diddy.
And it's only standing to be more individuals coming out. I do talk to some of the other attorneys who represent victims that we already have known because they filed cases, who have additional victims who plan to come forward, and they plan to file cases against very soon. So
now I seen somebody mention that as well. I think Diddy also is looking at what happened with Sean Carter. Jay has played a very aggressive, offensive game. He's not going to sit back and get beat up on. I think, in my personal opinion, that Jay has stopped the bleeding, at least temporarily. If not that, he's weeded out all of the frivolous people, the chicks who got their back blown out on the Rockefeller tour bus that now want to say something because it might behoove them to try to get a check or at least some type of documentary look that could benefit them. You get what I'm saying? So Diddy going at Sean Carter, Jay-Z going at Tony Busby, everybody else is like, yeah, I don't know if I want to represent you if you saying, oh, you remember it was somebody walking in the room talking about Jigga, No, that ain't gonna work. Fuck out of here. We need some real proof. Did you go to the cops? Did you do this? So they're vetting the people with Jay a little bit different, while you have inmates, people who ain't never met Diddy, saying Diddy took their booty hole. You get what I'm saying? So I think Diddy's lawyers are realizing, or is whoever his strategist is, oh shit, we got to play offense a little bit, right? So, and by the way, this lawyer right here, so Ariel Mitchell, Diddy's accuser claims ex-attorney was clout chasing. Huh? What the hell? Andrea English, the woman accused Diddy of sexual assault at one of his Labor Day white parties, has publicly called out her former attorney, accused him of clout chasing. By the way, you know Diddy's going to use this as part of his lawsuit against the lawyer, right? Whatever. Interesting, right? Interesting. Okay, So we get to find out that Diddy is suing 2 people. And by the way, this other guy, the grand jury guy, listen to him. Sorry, I sit through an app real quick. Yo, chat, I've never seen more gambling ads ever in my life, my nigga. Like, they advertise gambling like it's going out of style, bro. Okay, here we go.
I know you did mention what was on the flash drive before. Would you be able to kind of go over that now, or is that something that you can't discuss?
No, we're trying to
Oh, so this is her new client, I think. You get what I'm saying? So again, Diddy is targeting now this lawyer to say, hey, your last client called you a cloud chaser and wanted you off the case, and now you're with this other guy that participated supposedly in a grand jury proceeding that should be private, but he's doing interviews outside the courthouse, and you're walking with him.
go to discuss that now. What we will be able to talk to in terms of what was available and what was on those flash drives.
Okay.
But it was the book,
So it is Kim Porter's book, but not necessarily some of the stuff with the celebs that were mentioned besides.
It's hers. Nobody touched it.
Now, here's another lie. That Kim Porter had this unwritten book that a few people have tried to allege that they're in possession of, including one that put something out on Amazon that did great. But then the family of Diddy, including Kim Porter's own kids, said, could you please stop using our dead mother? She had no such book. This is a lie. Then the author later said, well, some of this stuff, couldn't verify, but, sounds like a good story. So again, Diddy, while fighting for his life, and here's the thing, too, why Diddy got so many accusations, you realize they're starting to slow up a little bit, right? They're avalanching him. They're avalanching him. He, even as a billionaire, you want to get the best team, but to deal with things in a level of priority. What's the priority? Your freedom. And then anything surrounding the major cases that could help your freedom. So if some random streetwalker said that you did something to them and you never met them, sometimes it becomes too much to just keep trying to put out little fires. You just want to get to the main source, right?
Oh, so it is her official book.
Yes.
And by the way, you could tell they were piling up on Diddy a lot because there was an article also ran that says Diddy refuses to come out of his cell to get served. So they got to serve him in jail, and they were saying, I don't know if this is a legit outlet, but they were saying he was stalling the legal proceedings by, actually, no, this is legit. They filed this in court. According to filing submitted on December 30th, Tony Busby's co-counsel claims that Diddy refusal to accept service has delayed 2 specific cases. They're saying that Diddy won't leave his cell or won't, obviously they have him in custody, but he's not being cooperative. You get what I'm saying? And it shows that just a lot of fucking lawsuits. You get what I'm saying? So Diddy's now firing back, and I'm sorry, let me just play this in full.
Kim Porter's book, but not necessarily some of the stuff with the celebs that were mentioned besides.
It's hers. Nobody touched it.
Oh, so it is her official book.
Yes. Nobody.
And no one touched it.
Nobody altered it. Nothing.
So it's not the copy that the gentleman said that he was selling before. No.
No.
It's 2 different copies. That one was edited, and we have the original copy.
So you're saying that the other copy was an actual real copy, even though the family said it wasn't?
It was a derivative work.
It was edited. The only way the family say that is because I forgot his name. Albie Short.
Yeah.
Yeah. And besides that, how they know? A lot of stuff their mother did, they didn't know. And I'd like to see apologize to the mother and the family for the picture being on front of it.
Right.
You understand? I didn't put it there.
Right.
So, they got to worry about bigger things
Right.
than what her diary was. You understand?
Right.
They should have started worrying when he was beating her.
Right.
When you start worrying about your mother after the fact.
Right. So the book Do you think that now, do you think it'll ever like be open to the public or after this or?
That'll be the next thing. I've been contracted to go to Amazon and work out whatever legalities that may have existed prior.
Okay, so they're still going with this angle that there's this book where Kim Porter may have detailed freak-offs and brutal beatings, and she was gonna put it out, and she just got killed before. Again, I do want to make it abundantly clear, because I know some people, y'all are really like dense. Y'all be like, yo, I got on the phone with Diddy, and now like he's a Diddy defender. No, right? I think we would all admit that Diddy probably was beating a lot of these girls. He was slapping these chicks, right? So accusations of that, I'm actually inclined to believe, right? I'm inclined to believe of a lot of what Cassie has alleged. I just know that there are nefarious characters out there that, you know, they're just saying anything. You get what I'm saying? And I know it might be a conflict of interest, but if there was an actual family member that was saying, oh, no, this is the real about Kim, I will believe them rather than these random characters that are popping up. And every time they pop up, they're talking business along with justice. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk to Amazon. We're going to make sure this is good. Yo, we got the book. We just got to make sure we do a couple touch-ups, and then it's going to go out. And, yo, the shit going to be on sale. It might be like $8.99. Yo, hold up, man. Hold up. You get what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I'm watching to see how it turns out with Diddy. Because I think with Bill Cosby, it definitely fucked him. Obviously, Cosby looked like he was guilty of the crime, right? It appears. But sometimes when the water is so muddied, even with bad characters, that person just end up going away no matter what. Now, again, you know, I just for the slow ones in the back, I'm not here defending Diddy. We're not here defending Diddy at all. Okay. If you need a definitive statement from me, I think most of that shit Cassie said he did. That's just what it is. Like I have no reason not to believe her, right? I have no reason not to believe her, right? But the majority of these other people, yo, I could just see in their eyes these niggas want to check, bro. And that's just me coming to that conclusion based on how these niggas look like they just want to check, bro. Okay? All right. So it says Diddy's also firing back at Courtney's claim that he received Kim Porter's memoir directly from her, saying that the closest to Porter, like her children or roommate for more than 20 years, have never even heard of him. As we told you, Diddy's children previously sent a cease and desist letter warning Burgess about releasing the Kim Porter book. Diddy's suing him and her and the company behind News Nation for defamation and is asking for at least $50 million. Now, they probably have taken that video down. So, News Nation, Ariel Mitchell, News Nation, she went on there and she made, they didn't. She said that, she said a few things about she was trying to broker a deal with a video, and she said that, here we go.
We know that he video essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes.
Now, by the way, I want to say that this move by Diddy is another move that I believe is mirroring Alex Spiro and Sean Carter, a.k.a. Jay-Z. Remember Sean Carter, Jay-Z, when Jaguar Wright went up on Piers Morgan talking about all that shit, we heard Piers Morgan come out and say, yo, I got to say this to not get sued. Look, Piers Morgan, Jaguar Wright, Jay-Z. And he came out and literally apologized. He said,
well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview.
Piers Morgan is apologizing to Jay-Z and Beyonce after an interview he conducted detailed false allegations about. She claimed that Jay-Z.
The thing about platforms, the reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as there's something to say that other people want to hear.
Morgan told his audience, "That's why we invited Wright on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. We're totally..."
At a show called Uncensored. Yeah. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
For more on the...
Now, what was actually Alex Spiro Piers Morgan, which is Alex Spiro is the lawyer of Jay-Z. He said this definitively.
This is the type of indictment you would expect from someone in the mafia.
I don't know that I could keep him off the stand. He is very eager to...
All of Diddy,
Yeah, I keep saying, why the hell is Diddy's lawyer in a documentary called The Downfall of Diddy? That's crazy. Okay, here we go.
This must have been shocking to you that somebody comes on a show and then kind of levels these vague-ish allegations. Were you kind of ready for something like this to eventually happen?
Listen, there's rumors and then there's nonsense, and this is one step further, right? This is a pointed and formal accusation of something, and I felt it needed to be responded to. So I think somebody reported it was a cease and desist. It wasn't that. It was quite bluntly an ultimatum, which is remove that false accusation that's demonstrably false, or a court's going to order you to. And so I think he made the wise choice and acted accordingly.
He meaning Piers Morgan.
Removing it and apologizing for it, yes. What changed here in
That's a gangster.
my mind is that somebody on a so-called journalistic platform exploited that kind of random rumor mill, whether it's disconnected from reality or what have you, and lifted it up. And by doing that, you know, they not only caused harm here, but they are also droning out the voices of real victims. And by doing that to get clicks, it didn't just harm the Carters. What he did effectively was to drone out the voices of actual victims in an ongoing case, in an ongoing investigation. And that was too much for me.
Are you
okay? Perfect.
In the process of making sure that it is taken down everywhere?
What I am here to say is that in a situation as serious as this, somebody who puts themselves out as a journalist should not effectively take advantage of the situation and exploit somebody in this way. And so that's the real reason for action.
Does it strike you a little?
Okay. So that's what Jay-Z's lawyer did when Jaguar Wright was going on with stuff. And then now it becomes tricky because there's three lawyers, right? There's three lawyers who are essentially representing or trying to represent the majority of these accusers. We have Tony Busby. He has the majority of them right now. We can't forget about what's that guy's name? Oh, crap, I forgot his name. Lil Rod's lawyer. What's his name? Tyrone Blackburn. Tyrone Blackburn. He's the second one. I've realized that he realized that they not playing around no more. He's fell back. He ain't fucking with no more Diddy stuff. I've seen that now. And then it looks like they're targeting Ariel Kidd or Ariel Mitchell Kidd. So the difference between Tyrone Blackburn was speaking, doing interviews at first. We haven't seen him do interviews about this case recently, but she has. And it's kind of interesting that Diddy and Sean Carter, they're taking aim at the lawyers. Because here's the thing. These lawyers are taking these cases with the hope of getting like, what is it like? It's probably like a 50-50. Like, yo, if you get $1 million, we just bust it down the middle. I'm going to represent you for free. And also, it then becomes, slightly even more egregious because you'll get the lawyers doing interviews, and the lawyers damn near are offering like testimony, like, yo, I've seen this, I've seen that. Like, you know what I mean? So again, this is a lawyer, and this is how she's speaking about Diddy. Again, Diddy is suing her.
So,
and he's suing this platform as well.
Decline that because.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
this
I can't
tape.
explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video is pornographic in nature.
Oh my, all right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, did he? And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And
somebody says I should get the tapes. Nah. That's one part of the discovery I do not want no parts of, bro.
It does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded it.
Mm-hmm. All right. I wanted to ask you about the police report we talked about, but when your client came out, obviously the neighbor knew. Did she talk to her family? Did she talk to her friends? Did she have another lawyer? Let's go back to your client.
So at the time, she, as most rape victims are, they feel a lot of shame.
Absolutely.
And they don't want to vocalize what happened to them because then it makes it real. So they kind of internalize it and get over it. Mm-hmm. And due to the high profile nature that it was Mr. Combs who did this, she was afraid for her life. She was concerned that if she was to come forward and say something, that no one would believe her, because we're talking about 2018 when Mr. Combs was still pretty much at the...
Now, I think this brings up an ethical question here, right? Where, like, you know, no one, including myself, would sit here and act like sexual abuse in any form is something that should be acceptable, or even to the level where someone has extreme amount of money and power and are abusing that to take advantage of people, that should be overlooked, right? So we obviously want bad actors to be punished, right? If you commit sexual assault or whatever, you should be punished, right? But we also have to like think about like the era we live in now, when you have the lawyers of these people, right? They seem more, they're more down to appear on news programs to kind of like recruit more clients by like, you know, it's like sending a smoke signal saying, hey, I'm already representing one client. If y'all got a story, come hit me up because we could probably make some bread. It kind of, I don't know, it leaves a, I don't know. You know, as one defense attorney told me before, they said, you'll know a attorney in cases like this have bad intentions when they don't try to protect their client. They only try to get publicity. Think about this. Someone getting taken advantage of is very embarrassing. Like, there is nobody I know who, maybe, like, no disrespect, like maybe Hassan Campbell, but nobody else gets, oh, somebody took it from you and you're shouting on top of the mountain saying, that happened to me, because it's embarrassing. Like, you know, it's, a lot of times people go on the ground. A lot of times people become reclusive. This isn't something that usually you hear people very vocal about. When you see the lawyers of these people, they're usually, again, even if there exists a video of the acts being happen or these acts happening and you have control or you see it, why are you on a news program further going into the trauma of your client? Oh yeah, I seen the video. Yeah, I looked at the video. I don't know if she could save this for court, right? And again, most of these people aren't people who are popular. So it kind of like, it leaves a bad taste, pause, in my mouth. Pause. When the lawyer seems to be trying to win in the court of public opinion when their client, who's going against Diddy, isn't a public figure. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't a Hassan straight. Hassan, I fuck with you, bro. Don't get mad at me. But yeah, so when you start seeing the lawyer doing a lot, like, look at this, right?
Why you're here today?
Yes.
Okay.
Homeland Security.
Oh, wow.
Remember, grand jury, especially federal grand jury proceedings, are private. When someone goes to testify, when someone is involved in that process, they tell you, because this is where the feds like to pop up and kick doors down. If you're doing an interview saying, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I just testified at the grand jury shit, it's not secret no more. They tell the witnesses, don't do that. When you're walking outside the actual courthouse and you're literally talking to Fox 5, why? If you're seeking justice and you felt there was a crime committed, why do you can't you wait till you get the conviction? Yet you get moments like this.
So were you surprised, or was that the call that you were kind of waiting for?
Surprise.
Oh. Do you feel like the interview had anything to do with it, or?
Yes.
Yeah? How do you know Sean Combs?
Generation. You know, Frank Lucas was my godfather and his father, and then we both was in the music business for 30 years.
Did this nigga just say Frank Lucas? American Gangster? What the? Now, I do know there is some connection to Sean Combs' dad there, but they're asking, yo, you claim you got a videotape or some book from his deceased baby mama. How you get it? How long you know Diddy? Well, my dad and his dad, you know what I mean, back in the Frank Lucas days, we were, what the hell you talking about? What the hell you talking about?
Father and his father, and then we both was in the music business for 30 years together.
So you...
This nigga been in the music business for 30 years and nobody heard of him? What? This is why the lawyers start doing the interviews. You want me to tell you why? Because anytime their clients speak, remember the one, the little genius that came out? Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you. After I seen people thought that Jay-Z and his people like intimidated me. That ain't it. After I seen the interview by the accuser that was slow as a fucking turtle, I said, I gotta hop off of this train. Listen, I'm not one of them motherfuckers that be like, yo, I'm gonna be on the bandwagon until this goddamn train crashes. Look, can we find a video? Is this a video? This chick was slower than Franklin the Turtle. I said, get her ass on out of here. This when I realized, I said, Tony Busby, if I could tell that this slow motherfucker is full of shit, how could you not? How could you not? Hold on. It was a CNN Jay-Z accuser interview. Let me see. Oh, no. Where is it? Where is it at? Don't tell me they scrubbed it from the internet. You know the one I'm talking about, right? Where she's like, Jay-Z accuser interview CNN. Let's see if we can find it. Oh yeah, this is.
According to your law, tray drinks that came by Sean Combs in the Hamptons. What was that experience
No, this is a random nigga.
Like?
At first, he was incredibly friendly.
This is the nigga who claimed that Diddy took his butt. Like, come on, nigga. Where's the other accuser at, man? It was one with Jay-Z. Fuck, I can't find it.
You should always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward?
So old country Bama with a whole bunch of DuckTales. Let me tell you this. I think Jay-Z is scummy as the next nigga who think Jay-Z is scummy. But once I heard this country Bama try to describe what the hell happened and then double back and said maybe there's some inconsistencies, you know what I said? Jigga, my bad. My bad, player. Let's take a shot. They lying. I'm sorry. Yo, I can't rock with the lie. I'm sorry.
And talk today.
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is in the
Is this bitch describing LA?
Inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman...
Wait, how the hell did I do that? I like move this thing. Oh, you could... Yo, YouTube is crazy now. You could move the caption. Chat, I'm moving the caption. What the fuck? All right, let's put it up here. Let's put it over here. Yo, I can move the caption. That's cool. Oh, man.
says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive.
Chat. Alex Spiro know better than hit my damn phone. Jay-Z too, nigga. Even though I like Reasonable Doubt. For anybody who thought that the Carters, her Rock Nation, just like, no, nigga, I seen a liar. I'm like, all right, y'all lying. I'm just get out of here. I thought y'all had something. I thought y'all had him. Holla at me when y'all got him dead to rights. But right now, he's spanking y'all. I'm good.
Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke.
5-hour drive. She's like underage. The friend who drove her there died. I guarantee when they Google the friend, I guarantee they do some research on the friend. Friend never had a license. Like all type of bullshit with this damn case.
Spoke to Combs's limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think?
An autistic motherfucking slow ass kid. Really? Really, nigga? Really? This is what you want me to believe? Is this what you want me to believe?
When he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she said.
This is offensively disrespectful. This is like it's just offensively.
Where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean...
Yo, if you gonna cap, at least get your father down with the cap. Like, yo, Dad, remember back in 93 when you picked me up at the gas station and I had a towel around me because I was booty butt naked and I was 13? Even the dad is like, yo, I can't even go with this cap. This is crazy.
That's something that would definitely stick in my mind, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are false. The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, said, because we have interrogated...
All right, man, let's get this out of here. Okay. So back to this. Sorry I'm jumping around a little bit. This is what this nigga's saying, right?
Yes, Father.
And I guess I played that to say, yo, what these lawyers are doing, they're putting the person who they're trying to represent to talk, and we instantly realize they full of shit.
And then we both was in the music business for 30 years together.
So you personally know him, have...
Not who? No, who personally?
Sean Combs.
Not personally.
But you know of him, he knows of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know him personally, but like his baby mama gave me the tape. What the fuck is going on?
I used to be with Tupac, Hussein Fatal.
This nigga think this is the Pac and Biggie movie. Nigga think this is Notorious. Y'all used to be with Tupac and them. Hussein Fatal. He was with, what the fuck?
He stopped a lot of my music. A lot of other people who didn't care about him. You understand? That's not around today.
Right, so...
Stewart from Def Jam Records.
Mm-hmm. You made a lot of allegations, right? Are you expected to eventually turn those things over, or...
Well, that's what we're going to head over to do now. So we have a hearing now.
Where the flash drive at? We got to see some shit. Y'all heading over to do what?
Determine what we're going to do in terms of what documents we'll have to turn over and what documents we do not have.
So why were you... Yo, look at this nigga face. He know. Like, come on, bro. Like, chat, come on. Yo, chat. Yo, let me tell you this. I give no fucks if Diddy's guilty or innocent, bro. But come on, bro. We got to call a spade. Look at this nigga, bro. His eyes tell the whole story, nigga. Nigga, he can't believe that Fox 5 interviewed him for this bullshit.
Well, that's what we're going to head over to do now. So we have a hearing now to determine what we're going to do in terms of what documents we'll have to turn over and what documents we do not have.
Like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. If I was on the news, I'm like, bitch, yo, nigga, come here. I'm patting you down for the VHS tape, nigga. Where's this VHS freak-off tape? Where the fuck is this shit at, nigga?
Why were you in court tonight?
Just to give testimony to the grand jury. He was subpoenaed by the...
Why were you in court? Just to give testimony in a secret proceeding. Great. You should never hear an interview outside of a... Like, I mean, it's happened before. I'm not going to say it never happened. But what the fuck?
the court. So as we all know, if you don't answer a subpoena, the marshals will come to your house as they came to his house, and they will bring you here. So that's why we're here today.
I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage.
We have, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse. So I don't know if that's any more questions, but we got another hearing to go.
Are you nervous, or do you feel cool?
Nah, I ain't never nervous. The only thing that's fair to me is God.
I know you did mention what was on the flash drive before. Would you be...
Wait, hold on. I thought that all this freaking shit happened like in early 2000s. Ain't no flash drive. Yo, chat, when's the earliest y'all remember having a flash drive? Now, maybe they converted and shit. I get it. But god damn it, man. Do you think this nigga knows how to convert a VHS to a flash drive? Look at this nigga.
Be able to kind of go over that now, or is that something that you can't discuss?
No, we're trying to go to discuss that now, what we will be able to talk to. And talk
nigga walking around like Colonel Sanders, man. What the fuck going on, man?
in terms of what was available and what was on those flash drives.
Okay.
But it was the book,
So it...
The book.
So it is Kim Porter's book, but not necessarily some of the stuff with the...
Damn right, Chad. This nigga got this shit on a floppy disk. This nigga got it on a floppy disk. What the fuck is going on?
Celebs that were mentioned besides...
It's hers. Nobody touched it.
Oh,
Chad, y'all right. He do look like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. You crazy.
It is her official book.
Yes. Nobody,
and no one touched
nobody altered it. Nothing.
So it's not
Nobody touched it. I got it on a floppy drive.
the copy that the gentleman said that he was selling before. No.
No.
it's 2 different copies. That one was edited, and we have the original copy.
So you're saying that the other copy was an actual real copy, even though the family said it wasn't?
It was a derivative work.
It was edited. The only way the family say that is because I forgot his name. Albie Short.
Yeah.
Yeah. And besides that, how they know? A lot of stuff their mother did, they didn't know. And I'd like to see apologize to the mother and the family for the picture being on front of it.
All right, man. Y'all get the drift. So, Diddy's suing. And by the way, I do think Diddy's going to sue a lot more. We just have to realize that I think his team... Now, I'll be very clear, right? This was a clear message to the masses, because everybody has a joke. Diddy did it. Now, everybody should be careful. It's easy to pile on when somebody's not being on the offensive, but Diddy probably will try to get on the offensive. Now, here's the thing, too, though. For some of the people who have either spoken definitively or whatever, and this is why Diddy's case, I think, is a little bit different. I like Chris Brown's case. So if I'm going to rank all these cases, I like Chris Brown's case. Diddy's case, I'm going to put Diddy's case next to Drake's case. No pun intended. Or probably below Drake's case, honestly. I'm going to put it below Drake's case. Here's the reason why. If Diddy get found guilty, him suing don't mean nothing. You get what I'm saying? If Diddy gets found guilty, like, in reality, this lawsuit is just to get people to back up. Just like Jay. Jay filed his lawsuits to get people to stop. Yo, stop this bullshit now. Don't keep no more pile on. The thing with Diddy, if he gets found guilty in federal court, these lawsuits go away. Because it's going to be then clear that what people were saying about you and the overall sentiment, that you're either a creep, a serial abuser, or you are a sex trafficker. If that gets proven in a federal court, this lawsuit's out the window. So in reality, I would have thought this. If I'm Diddy, I would be taking names. Yo, this person said I did blah, blah. This person called me an R word, this person. And if you beat the case, you have a hell of a lawsuit now. You get what I'm saying? You have a hell of a lawsuit versus those people. I think that Diddy is just trying to get people to back up. But here's the thing, though. If he loses this case, he kind of fucks himself. And for any other people he's suing, for their legal fees, he's probably going to have to pay. Because once he gets, I'm not saying once, if he gets found guilty in federal court, he's fucked. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. All righty. All right. Okay, cool. Chat, where should we go next? There's a bunch of topics that's happening.